Hello there, welcome to eXtremeRate YouTube channel. As we have upgraded the kit components, this video is a remake of the installation of the Rise Remap kit on the DualSense controller BDM 030 and 040. To make sure you are getting the correct kit, please check your controller model before you start the installation. First, open the product box and double check if we got all the needed parts. In the following installation, we will use the BDM 030 as an example. If your controller version is BDM 040, you can also use this video guide. First, use the spudger to pry and remove the shoulder buttons. And pry the seam to disengage the trim cover. And remove it. Then remove the two screws at the bottom of the grips. Please remember to keep track of each removed screw in the whole process, because they are varied in place and size. And remove the two screws at the bumpers. Use the spudger to disengage the two clips fastening the front and back housings. And pry the seam full way around to unclip the back housing. Remove the back housing and put it aside. Unplug the battery cable and remove the battery. Then remove the back microphone from the battery tray. Remove the two screws on the vibration modules and the screw locking the tray. Remove the battery tray. Then unplug the cables surrounding the mainboard. After the cables are removed from the mainboard, carefully lift the board assembly out of the front plate. Now attention, if you don't need to map the touchpad, you don't need to do anything on the touchpad. Just skip this sector and move to the next part. Unscrew the bracket and use the flat end of the spudger to separate it from the front plate. Then get the touchpad ribbon out of the seam of the bracket. Remove the ribbon. Please refer to the pictures to pinpoint the solder joint on your touchpad. Heat the soldering iron first, and then put the solder precisely on the joint. Then use the iron to solder the magnet wire on the joint. After the wire is soldered, reattach the touchpad ribbon. Thread out the wire and the ribbon through the same seam on the bracket. Reinstall and lock the bracket down to the touchpad plate. Reinstall the touchpad assembly, and ensure that the touchpad is secured on both sides. Attention, if you don't need to map the thumbstick buttons L3 and R3, please skip and move to the next sector. Please refer to the picture to pinpoint the soldering joints. First, lift the board to leave enough space for soldering. Then align the solder points of the FPC with that of the board, and use the tape to fix it. Then apply solder on the joint and solder the FPC to the board. Remove the tape on the FPC. And double-check if the joints are correctly soldered. Then reattach the board assembly to the front plate. Please be careful not to clip the cables around the board. If you need to map the touchpad, please first solder the wire linked to the touchpad to the FPC. Then lift the board and install the FPC contacts part to cover the original contacts. Please make sure the contacts part is secured on both sides. And double-check the speaker position. Reattach the upper microphone cable. And the vibration cables on both sides. And the touchpad cable. Reinstall the battery tray. And put the microphone module back to the slot. Then lock the screws on both sides and the tray. Use the PC buffer sheets in the kit and stick them on the corners. Then reinstall the battery. Plug in the cable and lay the battery on the tray. Then peel the adhesive film and stick the FPC on the battery. And if you need to map the L3 and R3 buttons, open the small flap and connect the FPC previously soldered on the board. Next part, let's move to the back paddles. This sector is the tutorial for the plastic version Rise Remap kit. If yours is the real metal version, please skip to the next sector. To ensure the paint residue won't leave in the hole, we can use the screwdriver to stick in and clean the hole. Then insert the pin. Do the same thing to the other side. Then install 2 paddles to the bracket base. And lock the base to the redesigned bottom case. Flip to the front and lock the 4 screws. Then guide the FPC terminals through the hole of the bottom case. Lift up the flap on the PCB board, then connect the FPC terminals and lock the flap. Now install the PCB board to the base. Make sure the catch of the base secures the board, and then lay the board on the bracket. Lock the 2 screws on the board. Then install the bottom case to the controller, and press around to snap it in. Install the indicator lighting on the upper case. And install the setting button. Then install the upper case to the base. And press to test if the paddles are working. Then lock the screws on the shoulder buttons. And lock the screws at the bottom of the grips. Reinstall the shoulder buttons. And put back the trim cover to finish the installation. This sector is the tutorial for the Real Metal version Rise Remap kit. To ensure the paint residue won't leave in the hole, we can use the screwdriver to stick in and clean the hole. Then insert the pin. Do the same thing to the other side. Then install 2 paddles to the bracket base. And lock the base to the redesigned bottom case. Flip to the front and lock the 4 screws. Then guide the FPC terminals through the hole of the bottom case. Lift up the flap on the PCB board, then connect the FPC terminals and lock the flap. Now install the PCB board to the base. Make sure the catch of the base secures the board, and then lay the board on the bracket. Lock the 2 screws on the board. Then install the bottom case to the controller, and press around to snap it in. Then lock the screws on the shoulder buttons. And lock the screws at the bottom of the grips. Install the indicator lighting on the upper case. And install the setting button. Then stick the EVA tape vertically on the back of the setting button. Then install the upper case to the base. And press to test if the paddles are working. Reinstall the shoulder buttons. And put back the trim cover to finish the installation. The following is the guide on how to map the buttons and how to cancel. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoy the modding journey with eXtremeRate.